Welcome to Home Cinema and Tech Review. In this video, I am excited because this is the first time that I review a fixed projector screen. This projector screen is a fixed one, and normally you guys know me from probably many videos. I show most of the time motorized screens, but this screen is special. This is a brand called Dark, based in Türkiye, and they asked me before they developed this product which kind of a projector material or screen material they should use. And then they send me the entire range of materials, and I tested with different projectors. And then I told them the pricing, and I asked them the final price of the end user, and they told me some sort of levels, and I choose the material for price performance. And that's what happened. I haven't seen the finished screen until this video, so I am excited, like probably you are. So this is my first time seeing a complete screen. Normally I have like 50 centimeter to 50 centimeter square piece of sample, and I put them on a wall and I test them with different projectors, see if those materials have different reflective or different ambient light reactions. So this is what they came up with, and I am quite excited. Right now what you're seeing is an auto-exposed scene in a wide angle, so I will shrink the image with another lens. So let me just slide the camera a little bit back so you can see. This is a studio, and what we have right now is 300 watts of light over there. This is a studio white light, and this is a bulb straight firing from the side. Not a good angle. This is a bad angle light setup. And this projector is, you're probably wondering, this is my new projector, Epson LS650. Hard on cash, I bought it myself. So I'm working a lot to get better devices, but not many of them are sponsored. So your thumbs up, subscription, and help, comments are really supporting the channel. I can't buy every projector in the market just for the sake of testing. So this is my hard-earned cash, own purchase, and I'm going to hopefully review this projector later on. And I still have the LS300, so I'm going to compare them side by side. Is it going to be worth to upgrade from one to another, just like me? If it doesn't worth, I wouldn't do it, right? So basically it works, but how much? So I'm going to explain that. So this picture, what is interesting is about 50% of the brightness of this projector. And what you're seeing is an auto-exposed, not a fixed exposure shot. So when the scene gets darker, camera is trying to boost up the dark scenes, so you lose the contrast. But when the scene is getting brighter, like this, camera is trying to downgrade the exposure to give you a right exposure scene. So it is difficult for me to go fixed exposure. If I do that, let me just stop it here. This is let's just play a little while. We need to see the bright, spider scene is the best. So I'm going to push the brightness to the 70%, where the fan is still not noisy at all. You don't hear the fan. This is the sweet spot. I can push it further, but this is the best picture possible. So you're seeing quite a bit of good image, and it's bright. This scene is extremely lit up. You don't have to lit up your entire room like this. You might see the room a little darker, but this is because of the exposure. The camera is trying to dim down for the screen brightness. This screen is crazy bright. And I'm using a 120-inch screen with this. This is 100. So if you scale it down, you know how much brightness increase you got. So I'm going to close one light. And this is quite easily book-readable light setup. That's my criteria. If you can read a book, it's a lit environment for me. So I can read a book if I look like this, or if I stand here, I can read a book. This is not a dark setup, but the light positioning is not correct. This is the awful stage because it's creating a side light, okay? Normally, this is a ceiling light rejection, not a Fresnel, but a lenticular. So light needs to go from above, come from above to be ambient light rejected. So only light will be gained from here, this angle. You can use these screens to lower your cost, and I showed it with another video. If you can put it under the seat where your couch is, you can throw it like an ultra short throw. Not exactly the same angle, but you can get a similar result with a lot cheaper projector, and hopefully I will do some crazy projects maybe with this one too. So stay tuned and thumbs up and subscribe for that kind of, let's just say, experimental tries, because everybody just reviews and shows products, but I try to explain different price ranges and create tutorial for you to understand and don't spend a huge amount of budget to get the best picture, at least the picture you need. So this is not a best light. If I move the light backside of the camera where you are, that'll be the ideal light with a two probably lamp looking to the ceiling, because bouncing back light will be directly coming from the ceiling and won't be affecting like this. But here is a scenario, okay? This scene is bright and I'm going to take the camera and walk around without hitting anything. So this is a perfect image, 4K projector, and I'm moving on. Let's see how the 0-degree angle performs. Great. You can't see this much of a picture quality out of a VA panel, even with my TCL T8B QNET TV, which I am quite happy, by the way, for the price range. So this is where the light hits and the awful scenario. Don't get me wrong, I will do it with the lights closed, but look at this. No color shifting. We are swimming inside of this huge picture. Let me just go back without, hitting the tripod. And I'm going to lock it down to the tripod, the camera, and I'm going to do the same scenario by closing the lights so you will get a better idea. When you close the light, this feels like an OLED TV. There is no exception. And since the room is probably 25 to 30 square meter room, and this 100-inch is a huge image, let me just walk around to the 0-degree angle, I call it. Perfect side angle. Take a look at this. You can't see this much of a quality. Just take a look at Epson LS650. You can do the similar stuff with LS300, but it was time for me to go to 4K since I am a reviewee. I'm reviewing a lot of projectors. I need to have a 4K to comparison. But take a look at this. Yeah, this is the best image that you probably can have. So, what more should I tell you? Let me just go back a bit and talk to you about positives and potentially maybe some negatives for an fixed ultra short throw screen. So this is my first time that I review a fixed screen, and there are some advantages and disadvantages. So I need to make them, appealing for you. I think, let me just, we need to wait a while, I guess. All the commercials are happening. We don't have an account in this projector. So this is a brand new. I'm going to take it home hopefully today. So after this video, I'm excited. So basically, the positive is this thing has 1 finger of a thickness. So this is crazy. You put it on a wall, you flat, you forget it. Second thing, the tension is always perfect. Sometimes you got to adjust your motorized, but that's not a problem for me. You can adjust it and solve any motorized issue. The third thing, the cost is half, maybe even less, depending on your screen size. The fourth and important thing, you're going to see the installation stage. It has quite a bit of small box. That means if you can buy it, you can carry it even with a sedan car, without a station wagon or a truck. Because if you have a motorized screen, those are single pieces. So this is 100-inch, so it means 221 centimeters on the length. So if you got 120, it's about probably 260 plus centimeters. When you add on some extrusions of the screen, you got like probably 270 centimeters, 270. So it's a long thing. So you gotta have a long truck. You can't put a huge screen onto a regular car. So basically, if you have 2 homes, like 1 winter home, 1 summer home, and if you want to carry the projector screen with you, you can roll this down and reinstall it again for a season. But it's not my recommendation. The total cost of the fixed screen is probably near the half of the motorized. If I have the budget, and you know me guys, I have motorized 120 inch screen at home. That's why I bought this 4K. But the main issue, if I have to buy that kind of setup, if I have a summer home and one winter home, I would pick up 100 inch for maybe summer house or 120, and I would buy a 100 for the home, and that will probably be the similar price for a motorized 120. Kind of like it. So basically, you're going to have two screens of a price of a one motorized. But of course, motorized has the luxury. Motorized has the effect of coolness, like it goes up and it sounds cool. That's another factor, cool factor. But that's not the only factor. As you know my channel, I explain, once you have a motorized screen, you can drop it down, you can push the projector forward, and you can get a 65-inch image. You can pull it out a little bit, 10 centimeters, and you can get 130-inch. And you can even pull like another 10 centimeters, and you can get 150, 180, up to 200-inch image without any problem if you got a good 4K like this. So what happens? It's the versatility of different screen sizes with a motorized one. And if you have a TV at the back, that's another versatility. Like you can keep regular TV like a 65, like I do, you know my channel. So I have a 75 and 120 and 135 inch different screens. So what this allows you, the motorized ones are expensive, yes, but if they have the same materials like this, you can drop them down and watch your TV. Or if you don't have a wall behind it, like a garden, you know, or balcony, if you have big windows, you can put the screen up and watch the movies and then drop it down and walk to the other side, maybe to your garden or your balcony. So that's definitely a versatility. So you're paying and you're getting what you're paying for. So you got to know the plus and minuses. You got to know the advantage and disadvantage. If I were you, if I have the budget, I would probably 9 out of 10 go for motorized. Because the installation stage is not for everyone. Motorized is ready. You put it on the floor or something like a TV unit, and then you power it up, and it does, and it's just doing that coolly, you know, style of a coolness, like it opens up and it sounds like, hey, something is happening. It's like RoboCop, it's becoming alive again after 20 years of the first movie. Whatever. So basically, you get the joke, you get the idea. But who is this fixed screens for? The only thing that you can't do with a fixed one, if you push the projector, screen will get lower and you can't do the smaller size. So if you want to go back and forth, the motorized one is for you to get a bigger picture. If you want the versatility of those options like TV at the back or window at the back, or if you don't have a space, then motorized could be an option. But this is a hell of a good option, and until this video, I haven't tested a fixed screen, and I am quite happy I've seen this, and I'm also extra happy that I've somehow helped a brand to choose the best, probably best price performance material for their brand. I tested it in small pieces, but this, seeing it in on a huge screen, that really affected me. But if I have a budget for an ultra short throw 4K projector like this, my personal choice would be probably 120-inch screen instead of a 100, because I want to go big and once and for all. But it's also depending on your house, depending on your watching distance. This is far more than enough, far more than what I dreamed over the years. So everybody, by the way, was happy when they're even using 1000 NC lumen long throw projector with this. And I explained this in my early video. If you want to drop down the cost, you can put a long throw projector onto the ground where your couch is underneath. You can throw the visual like this. Up to 100-inch, maybe you can be satisfied with the 1000, 1500 NC lumen real volume laser or LED new style projectors. But for more content, you got to subscribe to the channel so I can use another long throw projector that I bought and reviewed and show you potentially best 720p projector in my one of my videos, and it was a very bright projector. So you might want to reconsider if you already have a long throw. Again, there are long throw ALR screens, and I highly recommend them. Instead of going ultra short throw, if your choice is long throw, putting on a ceiling, creating a bigger picture like 130, 135, maybe 150, depending on your main cave setup, go for long throw ALR screen, but to get the best blacks. But in order to, in the future upgrades, if you're going to use it ultra short throw, why not try my setup? You can watch those videos in the description and probably in the end of this video somewhere. So I hope you learned in this video whether a fixed screen is for you or not. Is it for me? Yes. If your wife accepts this, it is better than anything. The only downside that probably a wife can argue, if you are going to put this in a living room, this is a gray material compared to the TV's blacks. So if you go 120, it will be very big gray screen. If your wife is okay with that, there is no problem. But most of the time, probably many people will choose 100. If I was going to buy that screen, I would go 120. Go for the best. And you won't regret the choice that you made. If you're going to use it as a TV daily, I suggest to try to look with the ones with satellite receivers inside built-in, like a Samsung LS7PT, I guess, or LSP7T or LSP90. Those are the models with Full HD and 4K laser, but those are probably around 2,800 lumens, 4K and Full HD. And also LG has some like probably internal TV satellite receiver models. Which one you pick, it's up to you. But if you're going to use it as a TV or basic, then try to buy one with a satellite receiver. But hopefully I'm going to teach another video how you can convert this by just adding a satellite receiver. But definitely you will have a 2 remote in that option. So it's also up to you how you are going to use it. Your projector choice is always up to you. Watch my guides to learn more about brightness and how bright your room is. If you're going to use it in a dark room setup, you might be happy even with 1000 ANSI lumen real volume laser or LED projector, because I've asked the team, are you happy? And I did it with my Paris Ronet 600 ANSI lumen on the declaration projector. They were happy with it. But I wasn't, because I've seen a brighter images like this. So it's also your reference point. You can lower the cost hugely, even with the long throw, but to be happy with a bright enough picture, watch my tutorials and guides. Until the next video, hoşça kalın from Türkiye, and bye from Home Cinema and Tech Review. Your likes and subscribes will support the channel, and that'll increase my content quality and amount. Let's go close and place the camera here while you look around, see the other videos around. Probably there are recommendation videos on the screen right now. Watch anyone, you will learn something from the channel. You won't regret what you learn if you are into the projectors and home cinema setups. I am trying to help as much as I can. I am teaching more than reviewing more stuff. And one more thing that I like about these projector screens, they don't reflect like TVs, they are matte. So you don't see my reflection, but if it was a TV, you probably would see my reflection on the screen waving at you. So that's another beauty of this projector and ultra short throw setup with ALR solutions. Bye.